Let's get into this Ray J T. So I know over the years we've been talking about Ray J. Ray J been out here crashing out, doing all kinds of stuff to stay relevant. Brandy seemed to be the one that has a career that has always been on the straight and narrow. Without all the stuff with the faking of the marriage and having the baby out of wedlock, all the other stuff happening. The car accident. Brandy's had her ups and downs and stuff too, but not at the extent of Ray J messy behind, who I've always felt has been trying to figure out where does he fit in this world, because Brandy has the A-list mainstream career and Ray J is just ratchet doing, Zeus Networks type foolishness and just getting himself in space of like the neighborhood talk or the shade room. He can't expand himself beyond that. The Chitlin circuit. And that's no shade. That's just an observation of how his career is. So one of the things we've always talked about is like, is he considered an embarrassment when it comes to the Norwoods and things of that nature? So in a recent interview that he did for Cam Newton's podcast, Cam Newton been getting a lot of good interviews as of late. Because remember the last time we talked about Cam Newton on this show, it was the K Michelle interview that he did, and K Michelle was like dropping some jewels, and it was a good interview in which she was talking about like she want to fight Tamar and all that other. um. So with all that being said, he's opening up about his relationship with Brandy, and said that he believes himself to be the black sheep of his family, and recently shared that his parents and sister, fellow R&B star Brandy, R&B sister, R&B star Brandy, are embarrassed by him. So he's answered our question. He revealed this, I think, on Evelyn Lozada's podcast. I'm like, damn, every goddamn body got a podcast. What the hell do Evelyn got a podcast? Excuse me. Was she teaching on how to be a housewife? But anyway, so here's what he said. Now, in a chaotic and nonsensical interview, and that's what a lot of his interviews turn out to be all over the place. It's hard to follow along what he's saying because he's on them damn drugs. Or in the words of uh Ike Turner and What's Love Got to Do with It, them narcotics, played by Morpheus. Lawrence Fishburne, to be exact. So now, in a chaotic and nonsensical interview on the Funky Friday with Cam Newton podcast, Ray J made a series of confusing and contradictory statements about his relationship with his famous sister. At the top of the episode, Ray J pushed back against being called a brother during his introduction. Well, you're not black. You are a brother. He said, that's a big intro, but I'm not a brother no more, man. He said around the 2-minute mark on the video link below. Well, I do have it in the article that I, took this from. Shout out to Complex, by the way. Now, when Newton asked for clarification, Ray J simply replied, just because I'm not, bro. After being pressed even further, he insisted, I mean, I love my sister, but I don't think I'm her brother no more. This led into a bizarre monologue with vague explanations and metaphors as Ray J described being in a new phase of life. He said, quote, you grow out of like this first phase of life, and there's a second phase. I guess he's talking about being in his 40s because that's what he is. In the second phase, a lot of people in the first phase are no longer there. It's like a love changes, a thug changes, the best friends become strangers, and that's not me. Nas said that. He continued, it's so accurate in today's time, and as you grow, people grow, and you grow away. And when you grow away, sometimes you're gone. Sometimes it's done, and you try to get it back and try to like understand the first wave of things. But when you're treated exactly like it was in the first wave, when you understand what you have to do, you know what I'm saying? So that's just where I'm at. Like, I care, but I don't give a fuck. I'm so confused. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I do agree that the older you get, you have a better perspective of things and you grow out of things, or I would say you outgrow people. Because I have to say, like, when it's come to relationships and friendships that I've had with certain people, I do outgrow certain people and certain relationships and certain friendships. And I don't feel no way sad about it. But when it comes down to you and Brandy, I'm assuming that you have to realize is that maybe Brandy is just tired of the BS. And that's where she could be with that. That she's like, I'm over the BS. I'm tired of you and the shenanigans and the stunts and all the other stuff because Ray J just be up on here. And sometimes when you be watching, I'm like, Ray J, you are so damn corny. You act like a straight up clown and you just need to stop the foolishness. Damn, I saw this thing about Tyler Perry that I was thinking about bringing up too, where he was sitting there talking about the whole Sinners situation, which I know has drawn a lot of controversy. I may have to save that one for the next episode. But yeah, so and Brandy, I feel like she has a certain way of like how she wants her image represented in the world. And she probably feels like that you kind of tampering with that in a way. It's kind of like when you look at Ariana Grande, like she's the big major star, and then you have Frankie over there doing his thing. But when it comes to Frankie not doing no foolishness to embarrass his sister. He's on his own journey. He's carved out a lane for himself. Like he was a theater kid. Now he's out here being a pop star. He released a new album. He's jumping around in the whole gay scene and doing a lot of live shows. And the girls and the gay and the homosexuals is eating it up. But then you look at Ray J, who out here doing that's trying to create his own little Zeus network. He be out here doing a lot of things that's kind of embarrassing. Like also in the interview, he was talking about Whitney Houston, where he was accused of having a hand in her drowning or whatever the case was and supplying her with drugs, which he said is not true because he said he was somewhere else. I think he said he was in LA, another part of California or somewhere. He wasn't even at the hotel or whatever at the time of what that happened. So people blaming him, I do think it's ridiculous that they were blaming him over what had happened because I don't think what happened to her had anything to do with Ray J. And then he said at one point, like after she passed, that was when he started doing hard drugs. Now he wasn't doing hard drugs at the time, and basically was saying like, I think everybody pretty much knew that Whitney was doing drugs at the time, but the fact that y'all blaming him is just crazy. Just like a lot of people was going around blaming Bobby for her doing drugs. It wasn't Bobby Brown that introduced her to the drug. It was her damn brother. So for those who was out there sitting there talking about blaming everybody except for her for doing what she was doing, I do think it's ridiculous. Y'all want to blame Bobby because Bobby's the bad boy of R&B. You want to blame Ray J because he tries to perpetuate that bad boy lifestyle, but it always looks like it's a desperate cry for attention. And I always felt like with Ray J, he always came across as someone that was just trying to figure out how he could navigate through this industry because Brandy is beloved. Brandy is an icon in a lot of spaces. We love her and I Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel. We love her as a musician. She is that mainstream girl. She was able to cross over in many different genres. She is the vocal Bible. And then you look at Ray J. Ray J's always Brandy's little brother. And I think he was in so many ways kind of irritated by that. So I have to put on this bad boy persona. I got to be out here and act like I'm a thug. And every time I get into a fight with somebody, as we seen in them videos, he always try to run around reaching in his little bag like he had something in there he was going to whip out and use. And it's like, okay, stunt queen, stop it. And that's what Ray J be giving. Ray J always gives stunt queen when it comes to a lot of stuff that he does. So then they also went on to say Newton tried to ground the conversation by suggesting that Ray J might be deflecting his feelings about his sister. Ray J denied it as he described feeling excluded from family events. He recalled being told by his cousin, who acts as Brandy's manager, that he and his daughter, who's 7-year-old Melody, Love Norwood, who he had with what's her name? The girl from Love and Hip Hop. They said they couldn't attend a Disney premiere with Brandy because it was supposed to be an 18 and over event. On the other hand, Ray J also credited the I Want to Be Down singer with giving him a hand when he needed it most. Well, maybe, like I said, they might be embarrassed by you because you do a lot of stupid stuff. He said, quote, I have to work a certain line. I have to walk a certain line because I want everybody to know Brandy was the first person who ever put me on. Believed in me, took me out of town when I was getting in trouble. Her and my mom brought me out on tour, saved my life, moved me to the valley, and I'm always grateful. And remember, because Brandy had him on, I think he was on Thea at one point. Brandy always put him on her stuff. She had him on Thea, that one season of that show before it got canceled. Then she had him on, like I say, brought him out on tour. We heard he could sing. Then I guess that's probably how he got his record deal. He had them 2 songs, One Wish and Wait a Minute with Little Kim. And then, well, that's only 2 I remember. And then remember he had she brought him out on Moesha too at one point. I think she had him play her cousin, if I remember. So then from there, Ray J once again insisted that Brandy is his sister, but that he is not her brother. Whatever that means. So I guess he's saying he always got love for Brandy. Remember that you got love for Ray J. Remember that show? Remember he said he got love for his sister, but he feels like Brandy don't have love for him. Maybe she's like, because you be doing too many dumb things that I'm like embarrassed by you by now. But I do feel like maybe in the heart of hearts, Brandy genuinely loves her brother. She just needs you to stop with the foolishness and stop playing because you're playing too damn much. That's probably how she feels right now. And I do feel like if there is some animosity or whatever with your family, maybe there needs to come a situation where you need to stop playing, stop being a clown, because this is some clown stuff that you're doing right now, and actually find the time to really be like, I'm gonna call a family meeting. We need to all get together. I'm willing to mend whatever needs to mend, and I want to work things out. But you actually have to put in the work to make that happen. And hopefully they'll meet you halfway. Now, when Newton once again challenged the contradiction, Ray J admitted, I don't know why I said that. I can't believe I said it. I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't know why I said that, but I said it. So F it, and I mean it. You know why you said what you said. Stop playing. The conversation only became more bizarre with Ray J's erratic answers. At one point, when Newton asked what he was, if not a brother, Ray J replied, I'ma see you next Tuesday. It means what it means. I'ma see you next Tuesday. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, right now, I didn't know I don't know how we got here. Ray J is just all over the damn place. That's why I said, like, when it comes to him in interviews, he just be rambling. He just be saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And, while it's great that y'all give him a platform to talk about this stuff, it just comes across as cringe and embarrassing. So I feel like at this point, Ray, you need an intervention of some sort. So come get your son. Please come get your son and figure out what's going on with him. Brandy, I know you busy right now. You working, you trying to do what you got to do to work on. I think isn't she doing Descendants, another one of those movies? I think she's doing another Disney movie. Hopefully we get this I Know What You Did Last Summer sequel, because if you saw the recent movie, she's got a part in it. Spoiler alert, it's been out already for 2 weeks. So hopefully we get the I Know What You Did Last Summer reuniting sequel with you and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Hopefully that happens with a whole new director and writer. But that writing in that last movie was a choice. You're about to go on tour with Monica, so I know you're focusing on that. And figure out what the hell's wrong with your brother, because Ray J, you being a hot mess right now. So stop with the foolishness. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Ray J saying that I'm gonna see you next to, as you can see in the headline, you know what the word is, and saying that he's been exiled, and he feels like the family is pretty much embarrassed by him because of all the stupid antics that he's been out here doing in public, on social media, and wherever else we've been seeing, and in interviews. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments.